Okay, now the word is out that we are suing Big Tobacco. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of my smoking in different parts, because I think this is about a 10-minute video, and that's about as much as it goes for. I started smoking at the age of 18. I kind of got a buzz when I first started smoking, and I liked it. And that's what just made me smoke even more. I wasn't really too much of a smoker. I'd smoke maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes a week. But then eventually I got addicted to it. The nicotine it got me. I was in the hospital when I was about a year later for pneumonia, and then I started coming down with bronchitis. Did that stop me from smoking? By all means, no, it did not. I just smoked all the more. Once I got started, I really got addicted to it. I was smoking about 2 packs a day, maybe even more, especially when I went to the bars and drank. Of course, that's when you really smoke a lot. You know, I wish I could undo what I did. I wish I never picked up that one cigarette. That one cigarette is what did it to me. I got a little bit of a buzz, a little bit of a high off it, and that's what I liked about it. I can remember. And then I just chased the smoke. I would go into work, leave early so I could have at least 1 cigarette before I went into work. So, and then once I got in, I'd have to have another cigarette. So I really got addicted to it. I can think I would get bronchitis every year, every winter. I would get sick with bronchitis, and I still do. Luckily, so far, I've been pretty good. But I do have to have oxygen, as I mentioned in my earlier video, at bedtime. My oxygen level gets low down to 80%, so that's where I require oxygen at bedtime. Back in 2000, I was on oxygen 24/7. I had to take it with me everywhere as I went. But let's get back farther than that. And with the smoking, I was in a car accident, and I had to have back surgery. And I was okay until they flipped me over, put me on my belly, and I went into what they call respiratory distress. I actually stopped breathing, and from what they tell me, I had to be brought back to life by using the paddles. This was not due to the back surgery at all. It was due to the condition my lungs was in at the time. I woke up being wheeled down the hallway in bed, and I was on a ventilator. I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know what happened to me because this was all new. I didn't know. My main concern was I was trying to ask the nurse, did they do the surgery? So they didn't get to do the surgery. I ended up in ICU for approximately 3 to 4 days on the ventilator, where I couldn't breathe on my own, and then they tested me on the 4th day to see if I could do it. That was a long illness, and that's when I started to be on oxygen. I was on a CPAP machine at one time, but now I did get tested for that, and I'm okay. However, like I said, the oxygen at bedtime does get down to 80%. Anybody watching this video, if you're smoking right now, I urge you to do everything and anything you can to quit. You know, sometimes you get some disease like me. I have emphysema now, 54 years old. That will never go away. However, thankfully, with me not being a smoker, it will not get any worse. The only thing is, too, though, if I'm around smoke, you get that secondhand smoke is no good either. So, by all means, if you're young and if you're just started smoking, find somehow to quit. Do anything and everything in your power to quit. Go to different groups. They have Nicotine Anonymous. Any 12-step group would be good for you. See your doctor, your physical doctor. There's many different things that can replace the cigarette. I use Nicotine CQ patch, and that's what helped me. I had to use it for 6 months because at the time when I became a non-smoker, I was smoking about 3 to 4 packs a day, and that was at the end of my smoking history. Geez, by miracle, I quit smoking. I tell people a joke how I quit smoking. I say to them, yeah, my mom died in July of 1998. And when she got up in heaven, she got up on God's back for 2 or 3 years till finally God got tired of her nagging him. And God said to Helen, my mother, if I grant your son to be a non-smoker, will you stop nagging me? And she said, yes, God, yes, I will. And so that made God happy. So October 6th of 2001, I became a non-smoker. Thus, made God happy, and my mother happy, and heaven happy because my mom stopped nagging God. I did love my mom, or still do, but she did nag me, and that's the worst thing you can do. So if you know, I'm just watching the time, so if you know people that are smoking, the worst thing you can do is nag them to quit. The best thing you can do is direct them at some point to go to a doctor, to try these different smoking aids. I don't know too much about this new stuff out with the smokeless cigarette. I don't know too much about that. But anything besides nicotine, you got to get rid of that nicotine and you will be okay. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a war. And be prepared. Things are going to happen. But don't get weak and give in like I did many, many times. That's why it took me 25 years to be a non-smoker. I can remember I was smoke-free for about 3 weeks. January 17th of 1988 was when my father passed away. At which time, when I was told that the paramedics did everything they could, and he died, I went next door to tell my mom and my sister, and first thing I did was not to go to my mother and my sister, but go to my neighbor for a cigarette. And that was where it weakened me. So that's when I started smoking all over again. And that was in 1988. But I didn't give up on not smoking. I did not give up on being a non-smoker. I continued to try and try and try. Yes, I would go 2 weeks at a time without a cigarette, and then I would pick it up for some reason. But the big key thing here I'm trying to tell you is I did not give up. And you too, do not give up. Just because you do start being a non-smoker, you do try to quit, you go 2 or 3 weeks, then you pick it up again for another week or two. Don't give up. I say to anybody, you're not a loser. The only time a person becomes a loser, I shouldn't say this, but the only time a person becomes a loser is when they give up and they say, I'm going to do this the rest of my life. That is the only time I can say a person has lost the war. I don't care if you go to your deathbed and at least you're still trying to be a non-smoker. I don't care if you go that far. At least you have gave it your best shot. That's what I'm saying to you. I'm going to end with this for now, and I'll give some more details of how I went through the years being sick, being a smoker. So, people, take my advice. If you are a smoker, I don't care what age you are, especially you young people, see a doctor. Get something to take the place of that cigarette, by all means. Something good. No drug, no alcohol or anything. Something good to take the place. You may want to use the Nicotine gum. I don't know. Just try everything. And if something works, try it. Keep it. Keep using it. If you give up, not give up, but if you end up giving in again and you smoke again, pick up that same thing. Because that's what I did with the Nicotine CQ patch. I just kept on trying and trying. I never gave up. My friends, I'm going to leave you with this. If I gave up years ago on being a non-smoker, I would not be here today talking to you, because I believe the cigarette would have taken my life by then. So friends, quit. Quit today. Start wanting to quit today. Seek help. Psychological, medical, any words. But by all means, give up that nasty cigarette habit. Fight the tobacco companies. Go after them. And let us fight that war that we are going to win. We are going to fight big tobacco, and we're going to win. May God bless you, and God bless each and every one. My prayer are for you to be a non-smoker at some point in your life, hopefully soon. God bless. See you again.